Stand by, we'll come back to you. That's the Nerve Centre, the National Results Operations Centre in Pretoria. We're continuing our rolling coverage of elections 2019. Just a reminder with regard to complaints and objections. The IEC says all complaints or objections received on any of the voting days will be resolved immediately. That's the assurance they're giving us. There's sufficient authority at presiding officer level, at provincial electoral officer level, as well as where Desiree is, the National Results Operations Centre. Now, we're told at the ROC, where Desiree is, there are about 100 people who will be dealing with those queries. Now, there will also be a team dealing with the queries that come through social media. That's important as well. Okay, let's get some of the numbers on our touch screen here and make sense of them. Let me introduce Mike Siluma. Thank you very much indeed for your time. Here's our political analyst for today. Mike, thank you very much indeed. Let me just refresh the screen so we get an accurate account of the numbers. And this is what we're looking at, folks, is the national results that are coming through. And so far, let me just get this up here. So far, we're seeing 7,295 of the voting districts completed. That's about 31% of the voting districts completed. And already the ANC sitting at 55, DA at 25.78, and the EF at 8.59%. So this is the national picture so far, the top three parties as we sing it. Mike, you know, coming into this elections, a lot of people were saying, well, this is how they saw it happening. You agree?
I agree to a large extent, but I think that the surprise in these results would be the Freedom Front Plus, where they are sitting, so far. Obviously we're still counting, but I'm very surprised by their showing up to this stage,
right?
Because they really are not a national appeal party. They are a specific kind of special interest, looking at African-speaking people, looking at farmers, etc., who are a very small proportion of the total population.
If you look at the ANC, in 2014, they were sitting at around 62%. Remember, folks, this is only after the 31.82% of the voting districts completed. Now we're seeing it at 55%. In terms of Cyril Ramaphosa as the factor and as the leader of the ANC, what would a 60% majority win mean for him within his own party?
I think that it's what it means for him in the party and what it means for him outside the party. For example, a lot of people in the financial and investment sector have been talking about, how saying that the result of the ANC's performance will determine how the investor community views Cyril Ramaphosa, whether he will come out with a stronger hand to be able to push through with the economic reforms that he's been talking about. People have cut him the slack up to now to say, look, he hasn't yet gotten a mandate because he's just finishing off Jacob Zuma's term. He hasn't got his own mandate that he can stand on to push through those reforms. So the magical figure that has been bandied about has been plus 60% in the investment community. Within the ANC, I think that a lot of people, the reality is that the ANC's support has been declining over the years. From 1999, you will see, because in 1994 it wasn't too bad. It wasn't overwhelming. But in 1999 it was at its highest. And then from then on it has been on the decline. And I don't think that it's something that can be attributed solely to Cyril Ramaphosa. To say he comes in, 12 months after, or a year and a half after being made president of the ANC, he should suddenly, the ANC's performance should suddenly, shoot the lights out. So I think that in the ANC it is more complicated. It is not just about that magical figure. In fact, inside the ANC there is no such figure. It's in the investment community that has been talking about above 60%. But in the ANC there is no such figure, because there are many different factors that will determine what happens with Cyril Ramaphosa, including, most importantly, what he does with his crusade to fight corruption. Because as the harder he pushes to fight corruption, the more the corrupt people in the ANC become uneasy, and the more they get the incentive to try to get rid of him.
Mike, stand by. We're going to continue our conversation with regards to the other political parties, as well as we will go through the various provinces and see how things are developing there.